Hello and welcome to the Modified Check Template video tutorial for ESILAW. Each item of information that prints on your checks corresponds to a field on the check template, and each field can be moved. You may need to modify the layout of the fields if the printed check text does not align correctly with your pre-printed check forms. Check templates are divided into three sections: the first stub, the check body, and the second stub. You will need to enter at least one trust or general check to be able to access the Modify Check Template feature. You can also access the feature from the File menu at the top of the screen. Under Print, print checks. However, you will still need to have at least one check entered into the system. Before proceeding with Modify Check Template, print your check on blank paper and hold it up to the light over top of a pre-printed check form. This will give you an idea of which fields, if any, need to be moved. It is also important that you determine how your printer prints onto pre-printed forms. Most printers require pre-printed check forms to be put face up in the feed tray in numeric order. Printers that do not have a feed tray often require the user to sort the checks with the lowest number at the bottom of a batch, and then to put the forms face down in the paper tray with the first stub closest to you. This way the printer is pulling the lowest numbered check in a batch out of the paper tray first. You can test how your printer works by marking lines on a blank piece of paper as though it was a pre-printed form, and then following the printing instructions that I just discussed. Click Modify Check Template to proceed. Select the check format to modify. If you are running a US version of ESILAW, you will go straight to the check template as you see here. If, however, you are running a Canadian version of ESILAW, you will be prompted to select either Original to modify the standard check template or Image Ready. The difference between these two options is the date format, and the Image Ready option is the most commonly used format. To move a field, either click and drag it to a new location and release using your mouse, or you can click and use the arrow keys to move the field. Your arrow keys are useful if you want to move a field just a small distance, for example, for very fine adjustments. Clicking and dragging with your mouse will move a field a greater distance. You can also remove fields if you do not need them. For example, the Image Ready check format includes the $ in a fixed position in a separate field to the left of the numeric amount on the form. If your pre-printed check forms include the $, you can remove it from the program's form in the Modify Check Template screen by clicking on it with your mouse and then pressing Delete on your keyboard. For this example, I am going to click on the check number field. Finally, you can move groups of fields together to ensure that they line up together in a final format. Often it is necessary to do this with payee and address fields. You simply click outside of a group of fields and drag to ensure that you have highlighted at least part of every field in a batch. When you release, you will see that they are all highlighted together. You can then use the arrow keys to adjust the fields into the correct position. When you are complete, you can close the check template by either clicking File followed by Close or clicking the X. It will prompt you, do you wish to save your changes, and you should say yes. You now want to test printing your check template by once again printing it on blank paper, holding it up to the light over a pre-printed form, and checking for alignment. Make sure you do not delete your check until you have completed it and printed it on a pre-printed form. If you make any errors in modifying check templates, there is a Restore Default Layout that you can select at any time. Thank you for watching the Modify Check Template video tutorial.